Here we go, guys. We are now bringing out the Mega Abomasnow on Fan Fridays. So let's just get into this battle. There could be some other shenanigans. We just saw ally switch from the Behemoth. Are we going to see ally switch Kafagrigus? Most likely, it's going to be that Trick Room, though. Can we get some major destruction with this Trick Room from the Abomasnow? Who even knows, guys? But Mega Abomasnow now available in Pokemon Sun and Moon, one of the more overlooked Megas that have been released. Let's see what can get done with it and how much style will be had. So, Snow Warning, you know, with the Ninetales being introduced, Alolan Ninetales, there seems like even less reason to run the Abomasnow. But hey, let's get that Mega Abomasnow in there. Let's see the huge damage that it can put out. It's an amazing Trick Room Pokemon, has that solid coverage as well. So things are about to get pretty crazy. And Abomasnow with a Protect. So, okay, pretty crazy after we get our Trick Room turn. This is pretty obvious right here. We're going to see the Protect in a Trick Room. Mimikyu gets a free Swords Dance set up, but at least Blizzard hits both opponents, so that's going to be some good opportunity to exploit the Mimikyu. And Kafagrigus takes off. Also, Kafagrigus' Will-O-Wisp will make Mimikyu's Swords Dance mean pretty much nothing. So unless Mimikyu rushes into the Shadow Sneak, which probably won't even KO the Kafagrigus, everything should be okay. So yeah, I've been kind of slacking today. Like, I woke up late, started recording Fan Fridays kind of late. Oh, Memento. That's a new way to run the Will-O-Wisp. But now Kafagrigus off the field, in for another Trick Room sweeping Pokemon as Mimikyu loses a lot of its current strength. Interesting stuff. And Abomasnow with the Blizzard, so that's going to break the disguise. And how much damage does it do to the Decidueye? Decidueye is gone. As I was saying, yeah, I think my commentary this week has been a little weak, mostly because I woke up late, dealing with stuff from the bank right now, so life's kind of crazy, and I'm not trying to let it distract my content, but hopefully I'm going to try to pay more attention to this battle. We're going to know what's up as all this craziness starts to happen. And then a little bit of damage onto the Abomasnow. Hail's going to buff it around, do some things, and then we're going to bring in Greninja. So Greninja is going to do stuff. Abomasnow is the Woodhammer though, so maybe Greninja isn't going to do stuff. That's Trick Room, Woodhammer, Greninja already KO'd, and then Aurorus has Refrigerate, so that could be a really nasty Hyper Voice or something. And it's going to be single target damage boosted onto the Mimikyu. Mimikyu's disguise is busted, and it cannot survive the damage. Oh my goodness. That is some craziness right there. And now it's the Ninetales. Is it Alolan Ninetales? Oh man, that's kind of funny. Because if it was regular Ninetales and the Sunny Day would patch that up, but nah, it's Alolan. That's going to be the Woodhammer for big damage on Ninetales. Not enough to KO, but we will have the Aurorus clean it up with the Hyper Voice, except when Ninetales misses. Snowcloak Ninetales. Who knew that would work out in this situation? Abomasnow barely survives though, and that is going to be the end of this battle. So, trying to piece together, like we already know that Hail teams have insane potential and damage. Like, being able to double Blizzard the opponent is absolutely massive, and we already know that Trick Room is really strong, so that's kind of it. Like, we look at some of these Pokemon that don't get a lot of play. Aurorus has way too many weaknesses. Abomasnow, it's just kind of like there's better Megas out there, as hard as it is to say that, and then you bring it under Trick Room, and it changes the game entirely. Aurorus has some of the highest damage that we can find. Just immediately get up, go, mad amount of damage off that Hyper Voice, Refrigerate, and then Abomasnow backs it up with a lot of damage as well. Solid coverage, as I mentioned, and that's going to look kind of what we're looking at. So let's go into the next battle. Alright, it's pretty much the same team, and the opponent looks like they're going to get wrecked to a degree. Go see how the Glaceon responds, but I mean, Noivern, that's 4 times super effective hit. Like, the Ice Beam, or not the Ice Beam, the Blizzard and the Hyper Voice is going to be ridiculous. Ambipom, not really that bulky of a Pokemon as well. It's pretty frail, so we might see Fake Out, but that's why we just Abomasnow into the Protect and then Kafagrigus with a Trick Room. So no Fake Out is going to happen. We're going to see what the Glaceon goes for, because might go for a Hail setup to give itself a Blizzard and then do some craziness, but that's already happening with the Snow Warning from the Abomasnow. So Glaceon might just try to run into some damage. The weird thing about Abomasnow is that if it receives a Blizzard, it's neutral damage because of that grass typing. So Abomasnow's typing, not the best. Same with the Aurorus. I feel like this is really what's holding these Pokemon back, but then you give it a lot of support, and it doesn't seem that difficult. At least the Hail comes with the Abomasnow, and Trick Room is common enough as it is, so we're going to see that a lot. And then Kafagrigus, it's just going to set up and then peace out. Fake Out gets protected, safe turn. Glaceon Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, Kafagrigus is just a tank. Will survive? That's kind of all there is to it. And it even has the berry. So Citrus Berry going to put Cofagrigus at a decent amount of health. Might not survive the next Shadow Ball, but it doesn't need to, because just Memento the Glaceon looks like it might be the most threatening. Maybe the Ambipom, but Ambipom might be going down to just the Blizzard. Takes a little bit from that Hail as well. So it's going to... Oh, Ambipom actually going for the Protect this turn. That's going to spice things up a bit as we see Cofagrigus with the Memento. Now, if you were going against me, I would say Memento my Ambipom, because I'm not going to go for that Protect. I'm going to go for the Last Resort and do some craziness right there. But also, Ambipom under the Trick Room, not really going to be that effective, that scary, and there is no guarantee that it will go for the Last Resort. So Glaceon with that Shadow Ball, Mementoed Shadow Ball, that's going to be reduced damage, and Abomasnow doesn't take much. It's a bulky Pokemon. It isn't type bulky, but it is stat bulky for sure. And Tyrantrum is on the field. So Tyrantrum loves Trick Room. I mean, Rampardos loves Trick Room as well. All these Pokemon going to be loving it right now, and that's the Wood Hammer. So not even messing around with the Blizzard, just Wood Hammer, one shot. That's the damage on the Abomasnow. 120 base power, stab, craziness, and then we have Head Smash. That's overkill. That's overkill onto the Glaceon, and the mad damage hits. One shot on Glaceon. We still got Trick Room. It looks like this battle's over. Also, Tyrantrum, I guess with the Rock Head, it's not really overkill, just doing what it takes, and oh, this is going to be beautiful. Beautiful, clean Blizzard sweep out for the hacking opponent. I mean, see, this is the thing about Fan Fries, like, maybe if we saw like one person using a shiny team, a full shiny team every 100 battles, we wouldn't be able to call it as much. But this is something else, guys. This is almost every other battle. You know, it's frequent enough to where this is not common. We know the community hacks. I don't understand the idiots in the comment section that say they aren't hacking, because that's what Pokemon is right now. Pokemon is a community filled with hackers, sadly, and that's just what we're at right now. And I already know, like, I already know the battle's over. See that Blizzard insta-clean. I called it from the beginning because that is just some craziness. I know people are going to say, oh, but he has 2 shinies. Don't you call every shiny hacked? I've never called a single shiny Pokemon hacked unless it is 100% impossible and can only be done through hacking. If I see 1 or 2, questionable to a degree, but also it's understandable. You know, you can get 1 or 2 shinies. I don't have many. Like, I have my Snorlax and I just did my Porygon, but that took me hours. Also, let's get into the next battle because you guys are going to click off this video mid-range. But overall, yes, you can grind shiny competitive Pokemon, but it is not common. Maybe 1 in 1,000 people. Maybe, if that. I'm like, my odds are close to like 1 in 10,000 people, if not more. You know, it's a 99.99% chance that they are hacking or something ridiculous, and you never bet those odds. That's just stupid to think that that's common, that 0.01% is common when we see it happen all the time. You know, that the average Pokemon player is not going to shiny. The average Pokemon player doesn't even know how to shiny hunt. When you take like the players that are in the game. Then when it comes to competitive players, most competitive players, they just hack their Pokemon and they do it shiny because it's just one button on the PK Hex. Now, we can see right here is that this looks like a team that was weighted. You know, this has been something that's been around since maybe the 6th generation, that this Abomasnow was probably carefully bred for the Hail team, for a Hail team that existed previously, and now with the Mega Abomasnow, the Hail team can return. That I understand signature Pokemon, you know. The theme of the team for shinies makes a lot of sense. Just having a random shiny Ferrothorn, shiny Weavile, shiny Salamence, and Noivern. The shiny Noivern is ugly, guys. The only way you're going to have a shiny Noivern is if you're like the #1 Noivern fan in A, and it's your only shiny Pokemon because it takes forever to get, or if you're hacking. And then we see like shiny Pokemon that also have perfect hidden powers, dude. Guys, it is not common. I don't understand the stupidity out there. Cofagrigus, though, takes a lot of damage. It gets focused pretty hard, but it does manage to survive. It gets the Trick Room, and that's all that it needs. So Cofagrigus going to be buffeted by a Hail. It will survive, though. So that's going to spice things up a bit. We might see the Ice Shard from the Weavile, which would mitigate whatever's going on with the Trick Room. But either way, Cofagrigus goes down, and then we go into the rest of the sweep. Oh, never mind. I forgot about the Leech Seed. Yeah, Ferrothorn planted those seeds of destruction. Took a little longer to activate, but it happened. And that is going to be Cofagrigus going down, and Ferrothorn hanging out at a very comfortable amount of hit points. But now we got it. We have the double combo. Is this still going to end the game quickly? No, double Blizzard right here, or like, you know, the Hyper Voice Blizzard. Makes sense. But also, one thing I wanted to end with, like, the shiny Pokemon thing. Use common sense, guys. I feel that common sense and basic comprehension skills are very lacking on the internet this day and age. And people are just... they just don't have the intelligence to understand how this works, and it's sad. and they just let the community hack more and more. So many players in the Pokemon community hack that shinies are devalued. Not because I'm calling them hackers, but because people like the opponent right now are literally hacking. And, like, it's come out that it can be proven most of the time as well. So, I don't get it. That's going to be Ferrothorn, though, tanking up as well as the Torkoal. The Torkoal is kind of an unfortunate Pokemon to have right there. Sunny Day, going to make it to where Blizzard can miss. The Aurorus doesn't really have too much wrong with it. But yeah, now Tyrantrum comes in. So Tyrantrum can clean up both opponents right now. Ferrothorn will set the spikes. I thought Ferrothorn was also going to take a lot of damage and potentially go down. But Torkoal, that's Sunny Day Eruption. That's scary amounts of damage. Or not, never mind. I was about to say, but Torkoal already took a lot of health. So if that was a full health Torkoal, because it had the Trick Room advantage, it could have done a little bit with that, but it didn't. The Hyper Voice, though, from the Aurorus will be enough to knock out the opponents, and then Abomasnow was able to stay safe. So that Eruption would have done more to the Abomasnow, but it's looking pretty good right now. And now it's Blastoise, Weavile. Not really much can be done about it. Not really much can be done at this point. We still have a couple of turns of Trick Room. We still have big damage coming from the Abomasnow when it comes back on, or we don't even need that. You know, Tyrantrum has the Rock Slide, so that's going to wreck the Weavile. Ice Shard on Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum has a decent amount of, like, natural defense, just bulky fossil Pokemon. And I love it. Actually, I love it right here because we also have Tyrantrum Aurorus. So we have a Hail team as well as Fossil team from the 6th generation. Outrage. Alright, so the Outrage one-shotting, well, not one-shotting, but finishing off the Blastoise with an insane amount of damage right there. Didn't even care to, like, go for the double hit, take out the Weavile. Weavile, pretty inconsequential right now. I guess Tyrantrum more worried about eating a hit from the Blastoise. Aurorus' Hyper Voice, that's going to be big damage. Is it big enough to take down the Weavile? No. Very, very close, though. Just, like, very, very slim damage rolls right there. Then Outrage will take out the Weavile, and that's it. So, yeah, that last turn, the last couple turns were well played right there. And that's the finish. So, I like this team. I like that someone's out there using the Mega Abomasnow, finding success, getting it next at Trick Room. The Aurorus combo is nice as well. I think that's what really works about this. The Memento. I thought Will-O-Wisp, I thought Cofagrigus was going to go, but no, there are no turns wasted on that Trick Room. Cofagrigus sets it up, Aurorus comes in after that Memento, they can't do much damage, and then it's just beat down after beat down. The Wood Hammer adds to the coverage, the Tyrantrum adds to the coverage, and it ends up working out pretty well, so that's pretty good. If you guys enjoy this battle, I'll see you in the next Fan Fridays.